What is your opinion on women proposing to men? If you want married, ask. That's simple. My wife proposed to me and I still think it is one of the greatest things ever. Going on 20 YRS now. The same as my opinion of men proposing to women. No one proposed in our relationship. She said, "We should get married." I said okay, and we went to the county clerk and got married the next day. I proposed to my husband and it was great, honestly. That said, I did ask him ahead of time because, well, the rules of masculinity seem to be pretty shit, and I wanted the memory to be a good one. Not something he's insecure or embarrassed about. Granted, hard truth is that I wouldn't have been into him to begin with if he was insecure like that. So I suppose I shouldn't have been surprised he was completely cool with it. And I didn't want to take it from him if it was important to him. We didn't do a ring, though, partly because it just didn't feel right, and mostly because there are no engagement rings for men. And I sure as hell didn't want one for me, so I got him something a little different, but still high quality and not something he'd splurge on for himself. It was really nice because he's a romantic soul where I'm very much not. It gave me a chance to do something big and romantic for him, to show him how much I love him in his love language, and it made for a really beautiful memory. Unconventional, but sure, why not? If you want to get married, then ask. If the question is whether the woman can surprise a man with a proposal, sure, but since the tradition is for the man to propose to the woman, it's reasonable to assume that when a man has not proposed yet, it's because he's not ready to get married. So it's high risk for a woman. Not saying that's fair, but Western customs create that status quo. Personally, as a man, I would rather have a discussion about marriage before surprising my GF with a proposal. Gives her some agency so she isn't pressured to make a decision on the spot. In reality, I don't think any proposal should be a surprise. Sure, you can do the whole dog and pony show proposal, but you should be all but 100% certain the other person is going to say yes before you put them on the spot. Love is love, and if the woman wants to pull the trigger, more power to her. Simply not an issue. Don't care, a non-issue. Eva Braun asked Adolf Hitler to marry her and those crazy kids lasted one day. Personally, I'd like to be asked as a woman. Then I know he actually wants to. Some men will waste 10 years of a woman's time, no marriage needed. I don't see the issue if you want to, though. I don't really have an opinion. People propose when it's right for them. Genuinely cold and careless. Women don't even talk to me. Might as well ask my opinion of women farming opium on Jupiter, for as much as it's likely to happen. I'm so old-fashioned and I hate my opinion on this, but I have to stand by it, and I think it's personally because I cold to it as in not brave enough. If a man wanted to marry you, he would ask. I would never in a million years want to be married that bad that I have to propose to a man. My wife did this to me. It was a little jarring as I planned to propose soon and I hadn't even considered the possibility. Of course I said yes though. Being in a relationship is being in a partnership. And shouldn't a partnership be equal? Most guys I know say that they love being on the receiving end of romantic gestures. But guys are usually expected to be the givers, not the receivers. Like, I got my dad flowers and he got emotional because he had never received any before. It's all a two-way street. Not a fan. Personally, I can't wait for the day I get to do it, so if she did it to me as a surprise, I would feel a little hurt. These things should of course be discussed far before they actually happen. Great for them, but do I need to have a specific opinion on that? I think it depends on the couple. Over the years I think I've developed a more traditional mindset of marriage where I would prefer a man proposes to me but I would also support my best friend 100 if she proposed to her boyfriend. I think it also has to do with the environment you've grown up in and what marriage looks like for friends and family members.